welcome to the show for Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Life 365, iHeartRadio, Chicago's own I Do What I Want, available on all platforms, the newest single. It's blown up. It's been a long work in progress, but this is a testament to if you keep pushing the right track, it'll do wonders for your career. But welcome to the show, everything that you have going on. Congratulations. You got your own wing spot. We're going to get into the restaurant and everything, but welcome to the show. How's everything going?
Everything's going good, man. Just stay grinding and working. I got to stay busy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're right about that. You can't be in New York right now. It's sunny in the background, right?
Actually, I am in New York, but I'm top. I'm in Syracuse.
Oh, okay. So you're in by Syracuse, because that's where you run the restaurant. Yeah. So it's probably, I know where I am in Connecticut. The sun's it's down by now. Down? Yeah.
You know, like our sun goes down like after 8:30.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you get the extra time there, which is needed. But congratulations on everything. Just, I mean, I mentioned the wing spot that you have right now, Trap Wingz Mo. Congratulations on that. It's out in Syracuse. You're distributed to all the college kids. You deliver to all of them because it's a college town, of course, at the university right there. 5 a.m. has been your latest delivery, I heard.
5 a.m. and it keeps going. Like, we're busy right now. Like, seriously. Today Wing Wednesday, so they get their half off on their wings. So they want their wings.
Yeah, of course. And I wish they had someone like you, or even if you were near Queens when I was at St. John's, because the food on that campus stinks. So I wish they actually had some real food there. So it would have been nice to have you around. But what made you want to get into the restaurant business? What kind of inspired that? What sparked that?
I mean, I come from a family that cooks, you know what I'm saying? Like my grandmother, my mom, rest in peace. And we come from a family that cook. Even when I was young, my mom and my parents worked a lot. So I was the woman of the house when my mom wasn't there. So I had to take care of my brothers. So, you know, I had to learn how to cook. So.
And you did, and look how far you come. How difficult was it to get in this spot open? Was it difficult at all?
No, I just started it, you know what I'm saying? And then being in the city, like you said, where I'm from, it's a lot of college students. You know, college students, they order food all day long. Their parents not here. So, you know, and when I leave the club, I want to eat. And the only thing that's open is like McDonald's and stuff like that, and Taco Bell. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, McDonald's is crap. You need something better than that.
You know what I'm saying? And what's better than wings? Who don't want wings? And even if you get people that don't eat chicken, we still got good fries. You know what I'm saying? So it's good.
Exactly. Because I've heard you say it before. People, when they leave the club, they want to have wings and burgers. Those are the best things.
Like, I want to eat. But you know what? I never really heard too many people that really want burgers, but they will rather eat wings instead of burgers. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
It's something about the sauce. And you're making different kinds that no one's ever had before as far as flavor goes. It's extra crispy. And you're even starting to get into the homemade pizza. Is that right?
Yes. But you know what? We do, because like I said, we cook in our household, period. So the pizza we learned here is like, it's common. So we did it, but we don't want to do pizza now. So we're gonna do fried ribs. We're gonna do like hoagie sandwiches, because I'm originally from Chicago. So we sandwich all day. You know what I'm saying? So sandwiches will be another thing that will sell completely. So I'm all about like what sell. Like, I know what people will buy. You know what I mean?
You're originally from Chicago, as you mentioned before, and then Texas raised you because you went out to Texas.
Yep. I did move to Texas. That's why I got my goals.
Yeah, always representing. And I remember you were out there during the time when Pimp C passed away.
I was, rest in peace, Pimp C. We had the same publicist. Shout out to Lisa Jackson. It was a sad moment for Texas. That was our momentum in Texas. You know what I mean? He kept it real. He just, even though I was in San Antonio and he was from Port Arthur, which is, they kind of consider that still like the Houston vibe, it still gave us everything to look forward to. Like Pimp C was just like, he was like our people's champ. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace.
Icon.
Yeah, definitely.
UGK, legendary. But
yes,
early on from your influences, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Those are the
Yeah.
two main ones right there. You can't go wrong with them. I wish we had more female MCs like them today. I know the sound is so different from then.
It's so
I'm not
different.
gonna
Yeah.
get into it because people say I sound like a hater, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
even I'm not gonna even get into it. So,
Yeah.
but your first album, as far as a group goes, was Straight Outta Compton, and you hid this under your mattress. And your father found it.
Oh my gosh. How did you know about that?
I did my
Oh,
research.
that's okay. Yeah, good job. Yes, we couldn't listen to rap in the house. We grew up in a family. My dad played a lot of jazz, blues, because he was a DJ back in the day.
That's right.
And my oldest brother was the one who introduced me to NWA. So he picked us up from school one day and he was bumping it. And I mean, they was vulgar with it. You know how NWA, if you're an NWA fan. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this shit is different. They don't care what they say. Like, what's going on? I'm like, who is that? He's like, that's NWA. He just bumping it. So I stole the tape from my brother. Bro, if you see this, I'm sorry. I stole the tape from my brother. He knows now. Um, and when I stole the tape, I hid it under my mattress because I knew we couldn't listen to rap music. And at the time I had a Walkman. So I would listen to the music as I'm getting ready for school. And my dad noticed I would never, like, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. So I don't know how he found it, but he found it and he got rid of the tape. And I found out that he found it and I went and bought me another one. Yeah, so
You had to sneak the second one in there.
yeah, I had to sneak the second one. I had to put it in a different hiding space.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's a classic. I think that's one of the most groundbreaking. It's probably the most groundbreaking hip hop album of all time because it broke the barrier just
Yes,
so
it
much
did.
with the West Coast hip hop scene and just gangster rap. If you
They
think
took
about it.
all that. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. What song did you enjoy most off of Straight Outta Compton?
I'm gonna have to say, um, straight out of Compton.
Straight Outta Compton, the
Straight
original
out,
one.
the way they came out, the way it was, and then like my favorite of the group was Eazy-E. I don't
Yeah,
care what
same.
nobody say. Eazy-E was my favorite, and even when Eazy-E was trying to be on his solo shit, I
Easy
still
does it.
yeah, Easy does it. So that was my favorite right there. So yeah, that was my favorite right there.
Yeah. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have that whole because he had all the money to put up studio time. If you think about it, all the way from Eminem to 50 Cent, that may not have happened in alignment if it wasn't for him.
And I think, that's what inspired me to be a boss, like, do things differently and come in a game different, you know what I mean? As an entrepreneur, because that's how he did it. You know what I mean? He didn't rap. Everybody knew Eazy-E didn't rap. You know what I'm saying? So, but he handled the business part, regardless of what everybody say behind it. We don't know the truth. He's dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? But, shout out to Eazy. Rest in peace, man. Like, I feel like, nobody would knew who NWA was if he didn't take that chance on him. You feel me?
Exactly. And it definitely it's groundbreaking and he's an icon in its own right. I don't care what anyone says. Like you said, there's criticism there with the ghost writing and all that, but
Yeah, of
he's
course.
solidified.
Exactly.
Yeah. But your other musical background, because you mentioned your father was a DJ. Did you ever practice on his turntables? Did he get you on there at all? Or
No, I didn't do the turntables. I didn't do the turntables, but I knew I did listen to the music. My dad, we was the family that throw all the parties, the repasses if our family passed away. My dad was always an entertainer. So he would wake me up out my sleep like, hey, because my real name is April. Come show them how to step. My daughter can step and she only 7, 9 years old. So he always kept me like, uplifted and stuff like that. So
and your grandma was someone that taught you a lot about life, and she did some backup singing too.
yes, she did. Which was his mom. Rest in peace, my grandma Louise. I'm her namesake. When I was young, back then, she worked for a juke joint, and she was best friends with Coco Taylor. She was a blues singer. If y'all know today, But I've seen a lot of groups that's big now to this day, and some of them, old, dying off, but whatever. But I've seen that growing up, and I was a kid at the juke joint. Back in the day, you can go to the juke joint, as long as you stay behind the bar and you're not drinking, everything is fine. But yeah, she took me to the juke joint with her. My grandmother used to sing backup for some of these groups. Used to be a ghostwriter for some of these groups, and And she always had her own thing going on. She never really wanted the spotlight. She never wanted the spotlight. So I got a lot of that from her. So
You can't forget about your cousin Greg too. He wrote the theme song for Martin.
yo, you did your
Yeah.
homework for real. Yes, shout out to Greg
Greg,
Poree, the theme song for Martin, and he was also a bass player for
Dancing with the Stars.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. So our family got a lot of musical background. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And because I did learn about this, because you were in the music since you were very young, but you
Yes.
also got into doing some nursing. So what made you want to stop pursuing a medical field at that point and then switch over to music?
I mean, you know, at some point in time, you got to know when your time is up on everything. You know, you be inspired about doing it, and then after a while, it's like you don't love it no more. So, you know, and I sat back and I dwelled on it. I prayed about it, and I just knew it didn't make me happy no more. So I'm like, you know, well, God, if it's something else you want me to do, let me know. And I would dream about me being on the stage. This ever since I was a kid, when I was doing talent shows, I would dream about me being on stage. I would dream about all the jewels. I would dream about me riding in cars, and I just knew when it was the time was up. I said, okay, if this is what you want me to do, I'm gonna step out on faith, and I stepped out on faith. So.
And you did. What point was it to what stage? Because I think you're doing the carousel I heard about. You got the opportunity to open up down there. I think was that in Florida I heard about. So what was the point that you were just so relieved that you took that leap of faith? Like, yes, I quit my job as a nurse. What was that moment for you?
With you, when I had transitioned from Texas I went to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually going to keep working. And, you know, of course, because you can't do, I ain't gonna say you can't do nothing, but you got to make sure you got some type of income coming in. So I was going to transfer, and the transfer went wrong. Like it was completely wrong, and it shouldn't have been like that. And I'm like, yo, this is like crazy. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, how did it just, you know, just go like this? And I say, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. Let me just step out on faith and do this music full time. And here I am now. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And look how much progress that you've made and everything that you've done, because I think early on in your career, Rampage, the last Boy Scout from Flip Mode, he discovered you because you were promoting your music on Twitter.
Yep. Yes, he did. He did.
Yeah, he's a real one.
It took me a long time to learn Twitter. This is before Instagram and anything else. And it took me a long time, and it was probably about late, because everybody used to be on Twitter like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and I was promoting it. And he clicked on the link, because it was actually a SoundCloud link at the time. And he clicked on it. He was in the studio, and he was like, yo, give me a call. And I'm like, when? He was like, right now. At this time, it's about 6 in the morning. And when I called him, he literally rapped everything verbatim, the verse that he liked. And he's like, yo, I don't care what year or what time you come out with that song, that's an anthem. Like, just keep pushing it. Blogs, radio, blogs, radio. That's how it has to be. And he helped me out. We did the blogs, we did that, and here I am.
Do you have a feature with him?
No, I don't. I
Oh.
don't. I don't have no features with anybody right now, but they coming up though.
Oh yeah. Who's someone that you can reveal, if you can?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. But it's gonna be. I won't say it's gonna be shocking. I think everybody kind of pretty much knew. You know, if you follow me and you a fan, you could pretty much see what's going on. So it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, no. And Bozz Tribe Entertainment, this is all about a women's movement pretty much, because the women go through a lot in the industry, and you're seeing it right now, just the power of women, because they're running hip hop right now.
Exactly. And you know, it's a matter of time. And shout out to all my women that's doing it, because like I said, it's not easy at all. It's not easy. And you know, and we grinding a lot harder. And it's about time that they recognize that our grind is something serious. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the women in hip hop. I love it. I love it.
I do have to ask you this, because you're someone that wants to bring the real back. You're not with the antics.
No.
How do you vibe in these clubs? Because anytime I'm invited to these events, I start hearing the new, because I support it, but I just can't get down with it. I'm stuck in 2005 and I like all 90s hip hop and R&B. So I really don't get some of the new music. So how do you adjust to the club scene with all this new music that's going on?
I mean, if I'll be honest with you, let's keep it real. If a person listens to something every day, you come accustomed to it. So you know what I'm saying? So when you're in a club and then you having a good time and you drinking, you know, you hear a fire beat. I don't care what they say at the point. You know what I'm saying? Like the beat is hot and I'm tipsy and you know, we just vibing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like it
Yeah.
is what it
No, it's true, but you're on the way to wanting to bring the real music back, and some of your influences besides MC Light and Queen Latifah, like we mentioned before, you like Prince and Stephanie Mills. Those are,
of course. They're my favorites right there.
yeah.
Yes.
Prince's his discography is like long. He's got a
Oh my
big time
goodness.
discography. I was looking at it the other day.
Matter of fact, I've heard songs actually because, like I said, my dad used to be a DJ back in the day, and I'm my dad's favorite. Everybody know I'm the only girl, and he let me listen to a song that was unreleased from Prince.
Wow.
Unreleased from Prince. I'm like, who? He was like, who is that? And I heard the voice, of course, because one of my favorite artists. I said, that's Prince. He was like, have you ever heard that song? I said, of course not. He's like, yeah, I got it. It was never released because, you know, of course, he was with a different management or whatever at the time. But my dad has music from Prince that was unreleased.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big time. And Prince, he's just a genius, just to everything, the way that he maneuvered in the industry with the symbol, just everything, his techniques with album releases. Or because I know Michael Jackson is the influence, but are you more of a Prince person than Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I'm both, but I'm gonna have to say Prince because Prince was more, he was more
Artistic.
artistic, yes, and he didn't care what nobody thought. Michael Jackson was pushed, but thank God he had the gift when he was pushed. Prince didn't play no games about his. I've seen a clip where he actually put out the label executive because they wanted him to do something a certain way. He was like, look, get out my session. Let me do me. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about Prince. I just love that about him.
No, he's
Sometimes you
definitely
gotta let
missed.
artists, you know what I mean? Because you're not gonna know what they can do if you don't let them do what they do. You know what I mean?
What's your top Prince album of all time?
I'm gonna have to say Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. Yeah, that's the classic.
Purple Rain is my favorite. I used to watch that movie every single day when I was from school. And you know, my aunt, she used to wear like back in the day the Jerry curl.
Oh
I used
yeah.
to call her Purple Rain. That's how much I loved him. I used to call her Purple Rain. Yep.
Classic, iconic right there. I'd say for me, I think Emancipation next to Purple Rain. I like Emancipation a lot.
Emancipation was good too. It was. That's when he really found himself. And I would say found himself more like in a spiritual role, you know what I'm saying, when he came out with Emancipation. But that was a good one too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And just maneuvering throughout the scenes now. So what's something that New York has taught you now that you've been you were born in Chicago, you were out there for some time there, you went out to Texas, recorded in Houston. We'll get to Houston with I Do What I Want because that's where the recording process came together. But and then you were in ATL, so you've been around. So what's New York taught you about the game?
You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle, and it's all about being in the right place at the right time, being around the right people. You know, I'm not knocking the cities I've been in. It's New York is more authentic to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, everybody riding each other wave. Everybody got their own thing going on. So New York has really taught me like the hustle, like keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much the difference with New York. That's why I'm still here.
Yeah. But I Do What I Want is the big record right here. You went to the studio with the producer and he was creating the beats from scratch and you already had it written already.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, I got something for it. And when he heard about it, he heard what you had. He was like, let's go the next morning.
Yeah.
And then you guys recorded it. And is it true that he didn't want to work with female artists at the time?
work. He was like, no, I don't want to work with female artists. I had a bad experience with a female artist and this and that. So we was actually at my friend's house, and he came with his laptop. Like, he's like really, like, he drowned out everything. He didn't care about what was going on. And he played the beat. And I was like, yo, what you gonna do with that? And he was like, well, I'm making, I said, you making that from scratch? He was like, yeah. And I started rapping, and it blew him away. And he was like, that's, you wrote that? I'm like, yeah, like I got a catalog. And he was like, yo, that's crazy. And he was like, let's go to the studio tomorrow. So he set it up for Rap A Lot Studio. We went to Rap A Lot Studio and we laid it down.
And there you have it. 2016, you were still, this is when you released the first mixtape, but you were still in your CD wave before a whole
Yes.
digital came about. You still had to learn the game and how
Yes.
everything is transitioned to the current times. Do you think that CDs and digital copies, the old school way of doing things, can still work nowadays? Do you think it still works in a way?
I mean, it can, because at the end of the day, what you can't take from the game, you still got to do the footwork. And CDs was a lot of the footwork. We were into gas stations, some of them we might gave away, but some we sold to people that really support you. But either way, we got it out. You know what I'm saying? So I still think that's still sufficient today. Like, I really do.
They're just like Master P was doing, like selling the CDs out of
Yeah.
his car. Yeah.
Car, because I was in Texas, so a millionaire, like, Slim Thug, they became millionaires off selling their CDs out the trunk, so at that time I'm like, yo, that's what I'm trying to do. We made it happen.
Exactly. The offers have been coming through for deals, but you're still independent. Do you feel as though that you're going to sign to a label soon, or the right deal still, it's not there yet?
I mean, it got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist. Like, I like to do business the right way. I don't want to, I want to make sure everybody eat, nobody get messed over, especially not me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to make sense. If I don't eat, my team don't eat. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to eat. So, it just got to make sense. You know what I mean?
How about visuals? Are you working on some visuals? I do what I
Yes.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on visuals, because actually I Do What I Want was created around COVID, when I
Okay. Yeah. And there was
first
no
touched down.
one was doing videos at that time.
Yeah, nobody was doing videos. I mean, I was still grinding, even though when everybody was in the house, Atlanta was still pretty much open. So, I was still doing my thing. We dropped it. It was kind of hard, but I was still pushing it. I was still doing shows, still grinding. And, now here we are so many years later, it's time to revamp it. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Oh, that's fire. What's going to be the follow-up now? Because I know people are, the era that we live in now. So what's going to be the follow-up to I Do What I Want?
We got a single called Everything Big. Everything Big is definitely something different. It's definitely different. Anything I do is different. Whatever I hear that's what I feel like need to be out. I got a whole catalog. Of course, I'm from Chicago. I'm not too much big on the drill, but of course we got to keep up with the wave just for, what I'm saying, for a little bit, but still be authentic in the same way. But we got some hits coming out.
Yeah. No, you do.
Yeah.
I believe it from what I've heard and just your background and the music that you listen to. We need more artists like you, because a lot of them they do stuff that for trends. It's not, and you
see,
can
I'm
tell.
not a trends and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely when they get a whiff of this one, they gonna know what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They will. I wanted to touch on this because you talk about timing is everything. When did you accept that you just have to wait until it's your time? You have to be patient and stay focused, because that's something that you preach a lot.
I noticed that when I moved to Atlanta, everybody, doing the same thing. It's okay, but somebody got to be original. You know what I'm saying? And I stepped back and I had, one thing about me, I like to sit back and see, okay, what can I do different? What am I doing wrong? I got to criticize myself first. And that's what I did. And I'm like, yo, I can't do this. I can't do that. And I don't like to follow people. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel like you're a person that's still, you know, you doing this and doing that, let me go start my own thing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit back and just, you know, be patient and wait for my turn. And I knew it was eventually going to happen because, like I said, I've been dreaming about it since I was a kid. So, you know, all I did was sit back, got a chance to learn me, learn what I want first as a person. And then that it just all fell in place. It fell in place.
And you do a lot of praying and just
I do.
meditation, and you
Yes.
like taking walks by the water, I heard.
Yes. I love water. I love
Yeah.
now look, I like to be by the water, but I don't like to swim in water.
Yeah, no, I can't swim. That'll be,
Me neither.
yeah. I can't
You
swim.
must be from the East Coast Midwest because we don't we don't mess with water at all, man. Like no, no.
No.
That's one of my biggest fears is drowning.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I
Like
can't
so many
swim.
people have been trying to get me to go on like cruises, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be in that water all that time. No, no. We watched Titanic. You seen Titanic?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And this shit just happened with the submarine trying to go watch.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, only bad things come when you're on the ocean, I'm telling
It's
you.
no way. Like you have no chance of survival.
No.
I don't want no chance of no survival. I barely start getting used to flying. I fly a lot and I still get nervous.
Yeah, I have a fear of flights too. I'm the same
Yes,
way.
still like once that turbulence hit different. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
turbulence, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like this not for me.
Exactly. And if you have a life jacket, say if the boat does go down, what are you gonna get eaten by sharks? You know, it's
Yeah, you have no chance.
yeah.
No chance. And then and the water's freezing and
Oh
it's
yeah.
salt. So how long you think you're gonna survive before somebody find out? You're not.
No.
You have no chance.
Nope. Hypothermia.
Exactly. So you just have no chance. And then if you fall out the sky, if you're in a plane, you know the air, you're gonna die before you even hit the water. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's no point.
No. I do want to talk about this because this goes hand in hand with manifestation, I believe, because you've been in the same rooms as some of the people that you had up on your walls when you were younger. So who are some people that you had on your walls that you eventually got to be in the same room as?
Busta Rhymes,
Mm,
Capone from Noriega.
mm.
I've been Keith Sweat. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And you know, it's most people I don't get starstruck at all. You know, I still look at everybody as, you know, regular people. But Keith Sweat, because I as a young girl, and when I listen to Keith Sweat, I'm like, what did I have any business listening to Keith Sweat when I was a little girl? But it was just something about him. And when I met him personally in his home, I was kind of starstruck. So yeah, Keith Sweat, Smokey Robinson, the
oh wow.
Manhattans, Earth, Wind and Fire. Shout out to Mr. Thomas Lockett from the group back in the day called Slave. They're the ones that really originally wrote the song "Just a Touch" that Keith Sweat actually
Okay,
did.
yeah, I think that was on his self-titled album.
That was on his stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at you. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So, and I got all these people number in my phone. You know, if I need anything, they'll help me. But you know, I'm the type of person I don't ask nobody for nothing. You know, I like to do it on my own.
That's big time. Have any of them invited you out to any performances at all?
Yes, all the time. Shout out
Wow.
to my boy Jay Active. If anybody knows, he's one of the hottest, biggest DJs out in Philly. He's Janet Jackson DJ, Patti LaBelle DJ, Diddy DJ. Like he DJs for the BET Awards. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? He had me open up for Slick Rick, and that's crazy because I love Slick Rick, and
Oh,
I got a
wow. Oh,
chance
you got
to
to get
open up
into
for him.
this. Tell me how it was opening up for him. The Great
Oh,
Adventures.
it was amazing. And to be honest with you, because we, you know, not too many people know about, so especially the new age.
Oh no,
So
forget about it. The 80s, they can't even handle the 90s. The
they
80s, it's a
can't,
foreign language.
you know. So when I was on, of course, like I was the first act, of course, and like nobody was like down on the floor, right? So when they introduced me, I went out there and I did my thing. Like literally, I have a video what my sister does. People were coming down off the balcony, just coming down, like all the women, and they were putting their phones up. Like I just set it off. Like I'm the one that actually opened up and brought the crowd in front, like literally, literally. Yeah.
That's That's major that you open up for him. That's an icon right there. The
Yo,
greatest storyteller
it
in
was
rap.
amazing. Met his wife, we chopped it up. Very cool lady, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you need as an artist, a team. We met his wife. She was really, really cool. They offered us food. We didn't take it, but very, very cool. Shout out to Slick Rick, man.
Yeah, shout out to him, icon
Yeah.
for sure. Have you had the
Def-
chance to perform with the Apollo at all? Any opportunities?
No, not at the Apollo. That was always a dream, back in the day when Apollo, when they was coming on, because see, like I sing as well. A lot of people don't know that, but if you're a fan, you will know. But yeah, I've already took pictures in front of the Apollo, but I never performed at the Apollo.
Coming soon. What are some of the major goals that you're looking to achieve next for yourself?
Man, big time, the big leagues, Madison Square, you know what I'm saying? Apollo, and the Freeman Coliseums, like all the AT&T centers. We trying to do the Philly Mets, got like all that. I'm trying to do all that.
Rolling Loud. I know Rolling
Rolling
Loud is
Loud,
the
yes,
new
Rolling
thing that everyone's
Loud,
going to.
the Summer Jam, like anything you could think of, I know I'll be on there.
Yeah. I Do What I Want. We got to get into this record. We know how it came about, the creating process, but what was the story that sparked you to write this song?
I mean, of course, I'm a very attractive woman, and I was in a relationship for a little while, and I Do What I Want was mostly inspired about women who are bosses, and you come around these men that just think they could just, you know what I'm saying, like have their way. Like, no, it's not like that. I'm a boss. Like, you gotta come correct when you step to me. I don't know how you step to everybody else or your mother. You kiss your mother like that. So I Do What I Want was more like, like a anthem for women, like women like us that can't have that voice and scared to say something. I got women right now scared to say something in a relationship. So I speak through the music. And even like sometimes I even have like my friends that are married and they husbands be like, yo, she bump it every day. And I didn't like it at first until I actually really heard it. And it's like, yo, how can you be mad at that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
No, you're right about that. And it's difficult with the relationships in the industry. You hear it all about it. And you mentioned just there that you have friends in relationships that can't speak out about it.
Yes, exactly. And even my ex, he's like, yo, you wrote that song about me? I'm like, no, it had nothing to do with you. Like,
Yeah.
it was more of an inspiration, you know what I mean? So, you get artists like sometimes all the time, they be married in their relationships. A lot of people don't know, but you want to be an inspiration to the next female coming up behind you or the next little girl growing up behind you. So it's more inspirational record, you know what I'm saying? So
How do you plan on expanding Bozz Tribe from here?
signing more female artists and more authentic female artists. That's what I want to bring back. Female artists that's not scared to be authentic, original, doing what everybody else loves to do. I know it's a lot of artists. I've ran to a lot of female artists to this day that I know, like myself, should have been signed a long time ago. And I also had to learn, like, being signed don't validate you. So I had to, you just got to keep pushing and keep moving. And once you keep pushing and moving and you don't give up, the right person to come along. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened to me.
You said it before in the past that once these artists, they think they've made it, you've made it once you sign these big deals, but it's a loan. You got to get to work. You got to
You
put these
gotta get to
make
work.
these hit records.
Look, at that point, it's double time, triple time,
Yeah.
it's overtime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get to work. It just don't stop there. And then only that, knowing that loan is a loan, and you got to know how to manage that money and not go out like you. Basically, you just got to be an entrepreneur all the way around the board. Those are the ones who really makes careers out of this. You can't be a rapper, just a rapper or an artist and have a career. You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to have other things going on. The label's just the start of it. Of course, they the ones with the machine and the bag. So, they give you the bag and they the machine behind it. You got to do good by it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I did want to know the name behind your artist name. How did you get that?
My brother, my baby brother, shout out to my baby brother. He gave me that name because at the time, I was running around doing shows. I had opened up for Lil Wayne, Jim Jones, Jeezy. We was at the Freeman Coliseum, Party Boys, and I didn't even have a name. I was having people come up to me, um, like, oh my God, that's the girl that rap. At the time, it was Shine On Entertainment. Shout out to Shine On Entertainment. And they were like, that's the girl that rap with Shine On. So I didn't have a name. That's all they introduced me as. So I'm like, bro, I need a name. Like, because at first it was Queen A, because my name's April. And I was like, I need a name. He was like, Boss Lady. He was like, nah, that's too cliche. I'm like, why Boss Lady? He was like, you a boss. Like, look at you. You driving the Benz, you got your own house, and you only 20-some years old. Like, you a boss. And he was like, just spell it different, B-O-Z-Z. I said, okay, let me do that. Let me do that. So that's how we came up with the name.
Oh, it's fire. Just getting to know the backstory. I like learning about artists back because that's your character. If you think about it, it's
Yeah,
who you, it represents who you
story.
are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a story. Yeah. Your story always leads up into your endings. So, you know what I'm saying?
Because you're an entrepreneur, you got your own wing restaurant, you got your own label. What are some other ventures that you're looking into? Because I know you're all about generational wealth. I think you've talked about opening up some schools in Chicago. I think doing some things in that lane.
Schools, getting jobs for people, you know, that can't get jobs, of course, if they out of jail and they got records, you know, real estate as well. I'm actually in one of the houses that it's a big house, first house built on a block, to be honest. Old house is really big, you know, just recreating things that need to be that's important. You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal. That's my goal.
Boss Lady, is there anything else you would love to let the audience know that we didn't cover here tonight? Anything else that you want to touch on?
I would say, just keep an eye out on, the single, all the revamps that we about to do. Just make sure y'all keep following. I want to shout out BBE Entertainment, my boy Goose, Best Broker Entertainment. You know what it is, Papa Zoe Management, Bozz Tribe Entertainment, my whole squad, man. Like we gotta make sure, shout them out and show love because we on the way.
Shout out to them too. They really did a lot of promo for the show as well. I saw they all posted the
Oh
flyers
yeah.
with the store. They went heavy on it. So yeah, shout out to you. Have a real supportive team. That's what you need.
Yeah, and that's what you need. That's what a lot of artists be missing. That's the number one important, a team. I don't care if it's one or two people. Long as those one or two people know their position and do whatever they need to do, they'll be fine.
And they got to be real too, because if you could have a team that works against you and
yeah, I mean, of course, I've had people that started out and they fell off, but that's the name of the game. Everybody built for this, that everybody not built for it. So
yeah, exactly. You got to get rid of the snakes and the people that just aren't meant to be
that's
there.
the only way you can elevate. You got to lose weight to elevate.
Yeah. That's a bar.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Boss Lady, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You're always welcome. I do what I want's available right now on all platforms. I have it in my rotation on Mad Max Radio Live 365. Go check it on there. Shout out to El Nice too for connecting us and getting this set up.
El Nice, man. Yeah, for El Boogie.
Yeah. Shout out to him, and anytime you're always welcome back on. I'm sure you're going to be releasing. Yeah, we can close with this. What's going to be because I know you got the new single on the way already. You already got. Are you going to be looking to do like an EP or an album? What's going to be the rollout?
Yeah, we will definitely be doing an EP. I mean, like I said, we got a catalog full of songs that's unreleased, so be on the lookout for that.
And a bunch of big features.
Bunch of big features.
Yeah, I want to see Rampage and Keep Sweat. That would be nice.
that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be really dope. That would be really dope. Maybe even Stephanie Mills.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yes,
it will happen. Not it could. It will.
You speak it, it'll manifest. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And they can follow you on Instagram and Twitter at Boss Lady 1.
Yes, at Boss Lady 1 on Instagram. BOZZ, not an S.
Exactly. You know what it is. Boss Lady, thank you for coming on the show again. I appreciate it. Of course, anytime. Enjoy the rest of your night, all right?
You too, sir. Thank you.
All right. Salute. Stay safe.
You too.